Pictures up, quiet please.
Parker? What's on your mind?
I've thought about this all night. Whether what I'm about to do is the right thing or not.
Let me go in and talk to him alone, Dr. Mallory.
I did so only because he was working along lines contrary to the good of mankind.
Well, Rangers, looks as though Agents McKenzie and Hopkins are going to have to get to that hacienda and get there mighty fast.
To crush all opposition, make the most powerful man in the world.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Good Movie Hunting. I'm here today with my guest, Danny. Hello, how you doing?
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm okay.
Pretty glonky?
No.
No? Oh, okay.
Exhausted.
Okay. Ugh, you took a nap today. I don't even want to hear it.
That's why I'm exhausted.
Danny thinks that naps are bad for your health. I disagree.
They are. They're terrible.
Yeah, okay. Whatever you say.
Okay.
All right. Well, today, I have made a declaration, first of all. I have decided that September should be the start of the spooky season. I'm tired of only getting a month for Halloween, and I declared that we're going to start now. So going forward to the end of October, we're going to be covering...
What did you just say? Go here going forward?
Go here, going forward. I don't know. Once I say things, it's just, like filed to the back of my mind. I don't know what I said. Here, going forward towards the end of October, we're going to be covering different scary movies, whether it's horror movies or just of a general theme of scariness.
Spoopy.
Yeah, spoopiness. You'll see. You'll see. We're going to be covering movies like that. So today, actually, we're going to be doing this episode per request from Deborah. Shout out, Deborah.
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 Well, it's not spelled like that, but whatever. We are covering Evil Dead today. I will add a little caveat, though. We are doing the newer Evil Dead movie, the 2013 version, because Danny insisted that he was not going to sit through the original 1981 film.
Okay, because
that's where we're at. Just giving y'all a heads up.
Here we fucking go. Okay, listen.
I know this is my podcast, everyone, but...
Okay, the older one, a lot of 80s like horror movies, they're so goddamn fucking cheesy, and it's just so hard to just sit there and watch them, because it's like, what the fuck was that? Like the prosthetics, I don't even know if that's the right word, but the gore and all, it's terrible. The scare factor, the fake screaming, the acting, it is just so bad.
I know, but you have to respect the classics, man. Yeah, classics aren't classics.
Did not just come at me with cars, did you?
I did.
You did?
Yeah, I did. I'm sorry. I've already watched that movie twice today.
Respect the classics, man.
I mean, obviously not all of classic movies are going to hold up in ways like that. Like you said, different special effects and stuff like that. It's not going to hold up, but that doesn't mean it shouldn't still be a classic, and it shouldn't mean we don't watch them.
I could do a lot of classics, but horror is just not fucking one of them. It literally.
And
is
also
not.
here at good old GMH, we honor the best, the worst, and our favorite moments in film. They don't always have to be the best movies here that we're watching.
I just couldn't. That's something you gotta get Savannah on board for, because I'm not beat.
All right, I just had to give everyone the heads up because I don't want to be.
Give everyone the heads up that I fucking suck. Apparently,
I don't want to be slandered in the eyes of everyone just because you decided you couldn't sit through the 80s version of this film.
Well, this is the one Deborah wanted, so.
No.
Yes.
That's not true.
Where's my phone?
That's not true.
Right.
Hold on, let me go look at the message.
At first, she was like, this movie, that movie, and then she corrected herself on the years. I promise.
No. She said Evil Dead was 1983 and then corrected herself. So she was talking about the 80s movie. It was Jeepers Creepers that she corrected that she was way off on. At first she accidentally said 2021 and then she said actually 2001.
Sorry, Deborah. I just couldn't do it.
All right. So Evil Dead is, I guess if anyone doesn't know, which I didn't know, it's I had heard the name before, but I didn't know anything about it. It's a horror film franchise that has 4 movies in it, and then there was a TV.
There is a TV show coming. There's one out right now, a TV show.
Okay,
it's
I'm
more
saying,
recent.
and there is a TV show.
No, you said there was.
Whatever. Okay, I didn't look to see if it's still ongoing. I just know that there is one. So the plot of this movie is it's about this girl named Mia she's a drug addict, and she's decided that she's going to get clean. She's gonna quit cold turkey. So she decides to ask her brother David, his girlfriend Natalie, and her friends Olivia and Eric to all go out to this their family's cabin out in the middle of the woods to get her away from society and stuff as she goes through her withdrawals and stuff. And while they're out there in the woods, Eric finds a mysterious book of the dead at the cabin
In the basement. The basement was absolutely bonkers. It had Mia in the beginning was freaking out when she started going through the withdrawal. She was like, "Oh, this fucking smell! It smells so bad in here." And when they finally found the door to the basement, a trap door in the floor, there was just a bunch of dead cats and hoodoo voodoo stuff.
Hanging from the ceiling
Yeah.
too, not just around on tables. It was terrifying.
It was kind of fucked. Not gonna lie.
And I'll put this out there, I don't know, and like I said, because there's all these other movies that came before this, I don't know if I was missing out on something, but when the movie starts, it almost feels like you're supposed to know these characters already, or you're supposed to know this situation. I don't know, the way that they introduced the movie was interesting. I don't understand this. This seems to be, I guess it's a horror movie trope or whatever, but I don't understand why people have family cabins that they just leave to go into ruin. So much so that there's all these crazy, like you said, voodoo rituals and stuff that have been going on in the basement.
Well, even
unbeknownst.
Even in reality, people that do that, say, unlike your dad, he goes to his lake house every week, but other people that have a lake house and they only go to it twice a year, the first 2 days you're there, you're just dusting. You're cleaning. You go there, you clean the first 2 days you're there. Depending on how long you're staying, you only get to enjoy it for a little bit. I just don't get it.
Well, theirs was even worse though. It was almost in shambles. It was really
It looked like they had
bad
drug addicts squatting there. That's
Yeah.
what it really looked like.
I mean, there were
destroyed.
freaking ritual sacrifices
Yeah.
going on in the basement. That's even worse than squatters.
Power of hoodoo. You do.
Do what?
Got the power of the babe.
Remind me of the babe. So yeah, like you said, they're getting the cabin all ready and everything, and I love that there's that part where they're like, oh, we gotta do some repairs around the cabin, and they just happen to bring a nail gun with them. I know that sets up for later on in the movie for it to be used as a prop.
Remind
but
me, I have
what the
something
hell?
to say about that nail gun later on.
Okay.
Okay. You might have not picked it up because, like, you know, never really did a lot of construction. So
I like how you say never really did a lot of construction. Like I've done any construction in my life.
I didn't want to make a mistake and get evil eyes. So
I mean, well, like construction, not like I've been like on a job site, like doing stuff before. You know.
Have you ever used a nail gun? There we go.
No, I don't think so.
You just used a weed eater the first time last month, so.
Hey, I'm proud of myself for that.
Hey, you look like you were having fun.
I was having fun, thank you very much. Even though my arms were like shaking by the end of it,
they
I
shake
couldn't
your
feel
arm.
them. It was terrible.
Yeah, so they had this nail gun.
Yeah, they have this nail gun. They just happen to have it in like the trunk of their car. I was like, okay, whatever.
Oh wait, do you have it? Or do you have any fun facts?
I can look at fun facts.
Do you have
I
it?
was all over the place.
I have fact funds for the movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
You're bringing some content to the episode.
You know what? I think I actually just lost him. Now that you said that.
Shut up! Come on.
Okay, are you ready?
I'm so ready.
According to reports in the press, the film used 70,000 gallons of fake blood.
Oh my god, that's a lot.
They said they used 50,000 gallons for the final scene alone.
Okay, I believe that.
That makes a lot of sense.
I believe that.
And I only had 2 fact funds.
Yeah, okay.
The film was banned in Ukraine for its extreme violence.
I mean, yeah, it's a horror movie. Also, I'm sure there's, like, I don't love super gory horror movies, but I know that there are worse ones out there. Like, this is not near the top of the list by any means, so that's interesting to me. These are, I like to take live notes as I'm watching these movies, you know, like some people live tweet things. I'm just live noting
that
over
way
here.
people can get your, like, honest reaction.
Yeah, like without me recording myself as we watch it.
You know, hashtag copyright.
So her one friend that she has, what's her name? Dang it. Olivia. Yeah, Olivia. She was freaking me out. Like, there's that scene where she's like getting her all set up, and she like injects her with something, and she says like, "Oh, this will help get her through like some of the worst parts of like the beginnings of the withdrawals and stuff." I'm like, who are you? Like, how do you even have access to any of this stuff? First of all,
they didn't address that.
The brother's girlfriend, what's her name, Natalie? She's actually a nurse. It would make more sense to me that she would bring those things.
Oh wait, no, they did bring it up.
No.
They did when David and Natalie first got to the cabin and they met up with Olivia and her boyfriend. They like made a joke at each other, her and Natalie. They did bring it up. They did.
No, I don't think so, because
oh my god.
No, because I remember Olivia saying something about her being like a doctor, and she was like, "Actually, I'm a nurse."
Because Olivia is a doctor and or nurse herself. An RN, yes.
Okay, we'll look it up later, but I don't.
Oh my god, you just never fucking believe me.
Okay, if that is true, though, then that would make a lot of sense, but I must have missed that part. Yeah, and talking about the part where they find all the dead things in the basement, I feel like I don't care what their previous plans were, like, as they show up to this cabin.
Goodbye.
I'm leaving. Like, no.
Goodbye. What did I say? You said, why would they stay there? I said, I would not be at the closest fucking Hilton.
Yeah, well, and I mean, like, it wasn't even to the extent that they could clean it up. Like, if it was, I mean, just a couple dead animals or something like that, yeah, that's still terrible, but that's like a easy-ish fix. Yes, there was like so many and there was like blood everywhere, and one of the pillars was all burned.
Yeah,
like it was just a wreck down there, and they're like,
Yeah.
no, it's okay, we'll
then,
stay.
like, what? Olivia's boyfriend finds that book, and the book is like barbed wired shut, and it's like binded in skin.
And he's like, this is a good idea. I'm
gonna
open
read it.
this and read it.
And
like,
and there's a passage in it that says, "Don't read this name or read this aloud." And what's the first fucking thing he does?
he reads it out loud.
Reads it out loud.
And even so, like, even if it didn't say that, if you're seeing like this crazy demonic book and it's got all this crazy like Latin and stuff scribbled all over it, like, just don't even tempt fate. Just don't even.
Yeah,
Don't do that.
Go give it to your local priest.
Let him cleanse it, and then
Yeah.
maybe you can whisper something. And then as he's reading it, there's that scene, like, it's after he reads out loud, he like gets a paper cut, and there's like this big old fat glob of blood that drops on the paper, and I'm like, what? I mean, are you on blood thinners or something,
Some of
sir?
the
Like,
70,000
why?
gallon.
Yeah. That was like way too much blood to be coming from just a paper cut. And I mean, this poor Mia chick, like, what a horrible time to be having withdrawals. Like, first of all, I mean, the horrible smell, like, she's the one who
Yeah.
smells all those dead animals first. And then there's all this craziness, like there's the big storm that's happening outside, and just like,
Yeah, so she's walking, as dude is reading out of the cantation, Mia's outside in the pouring rain walking in circles because she's going through withdrawals and she doesn't know what the fuck else to do. So he reads this, and then, like, you see her get, like, the demon come from the woods from the demon's point of view and possess her. And she when it possesses her, she hits the ground, just throws up.
which is like, I'm sure part of her was like, okay, I mean, that's a part of having withdrawals, and so I'm sure that didn't.
But this
especially
wasn't the first time she was trying to get clean, so you could tell the difference. But, like, you know, when it started to get real bad, the possession and whatnot, everybody just assumed that she's just withdrawing.
Yeah, even when like her eyes have gone freaking yellow, and
she's just withdrawing.
But yeah, like, no, I'm pretty sure that's not what that shit does to you. But okay.
She just threw up fucking 30 gallons of blood all over me. She's withdrawing.
Well, and then yeah, so that happens. Like, she throws up, and then she's like, okay, I'm getting out of here. I can't do this anymore. Whatever. She gets in the car, and she tries to, like, get the heck out of Dodge.
Oh,
and she ends up crashing. Yeah, I can't believe you forgot, like, the most traumatizing part for me personally, because she crashes, like, into this pond, and she's like, all right, whatever. So she gets out of the car. She's like,
I
no,
crashed into this pond. Whatever.
no big deal. So she just gets out, whatever, you know, swims to shore, and she's like, I think, doesn't she like start running or something because she gets that like
Well, she crashed into
ooky
the
feeling?
No, she crashed into the water, and then she gets out of the car. First, the car is like halfway underwater. The fucking, you look at the passenger seat. There's fucking garbage floating. Like, the water's up to the bottom of the seat, the passenger seat, and she just tries to turn the ignition. She's like, what the fuck do you think is gonna happen? So she gets out of the car and she starts crawling to like the closest shore, and then the demon or whatever like comes out of the water behind her, and that sets her off to start running.
That's right. Okay, yeah, she's running, and then she gets tangled up in all these vines and stuff, and then the vines start kind of like lifting her in the air and like choking her. And then this is like the worst thing personally for me of this whole freaking movie. All these vines are like wrapping her up and stuff, and then this like big
Demon.
yeah, this demon's in front of her. This big freaking thing, like the best thing I can describe it as. It looks like
braided root, to be honest.
I think that's what it's supposed to be.
Braided muddy root.
It's supposed to look like that, but to me, it looked hairy. It was almost like this big, long, like hairball that this thing was spitting out, and it comes out of its mouth, and then it's like slithering on the ground, and then it freaking goes up her leg and up into her vajayjay.
We don't know who's the vajayjay.
Oh,
It could have been the butt.
No,
Why are you looking at me like that?
you could tell.
Oh.
You could tell. No, I'm serious. The way that thing went up in her skirts and the look on her face. No.
No.
That was straight up her vajayjay. I just know it.
Oh, God. I'm sorry. I'd make a face if something went up my butt. Why are you looking at me like that? You know that's exit hole only.
So this is how she gets possessed. Then she ends up going back to the cabin.
Well, they
yes.
find her. They find her. They go looking for David and Olivia. And then what's Olivia's boyfriend's name? In the movie?
Eric.
Eric's just fucking off.
I don't
with
think
his
it's her
book.
boyfriend, but that's his name. Yeah, he's just like balls deep in this book. And he just cannot get enough of it. Keeps reading it, which I mean, I guess someone has to be informed in this whole mess. So then here starts the shenanigans and stuff, and like you said, there's that part where she freaking projectile vomits like it looks like Kool-Aid. Like, you're straight up, it looks like Kool-Aid all over this.
They tried to water
Olivia.
down some of the blood to like save some.
Yeah, they were like, oh, we gotta save a little bit for the freaking 50,000 gallons at the end of the movie.
That was insanity.
Yeah.
But yeah, she throws up all over this woman. And that's right after she, is that before or after the shotgun?
You're gonna have to be more specific.
When she shot her brother in the arm.
That was before, I think, her shooting.
Because right after, she threw up all over Olivia, that's when Olivia went in the bathroom with the broken mirror. So I think she shot her brother, then threw up all over Olivia.
I don't know. I don't remember.
Yeah, so she shot her brother, then threw up probably 20 gallons all over this fucking woman's face, in her mouth and everything.
And then the Olivia chick goes in the bathroom to
They lock Mia in the basement with all the dead cats.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
They chain her down.
Can't forget about that. They chain it down. Olivia goes in the bathroom to clean herself up, and then I guess she gets infected by the bodily fluids that are upon her, and so she freaking
The mirror breaks.
yeah, she's freaking out in there. The mirror breaks. She ends up jokering herself in there. She's freaking sawing her mouth
Face
open
off,
with the oh my god, that was and Eric ends up finding her in there.
In the corner, behind the shower curtain.
Yeah.
Just with a piece of glass just chipping away at her face.
And so obviously he's perturbed by these events that are happening.
Which also, this is important because she went in there originally to get sedatives for Mia.
Yes. And she ends up getting Eric tries to escape, and she's not having that. So she gets the freaking needle, and she's stabbing him in the glasses with it, which kills me because I feel like the needle would not. I mean, one of two things is going to happen. Either it's breaking through the glass, fairly easily, I would think, or the needle is just going to break right off. But no, she's just hammering away, and he ends up not the glasses don't break, but she ends up stabbing him in the freaking
under the eyeball, where they say you have bags under your eyes, in that area,
whatever the hell that's
your
called.
eye socket. I just want to say that if I was any of these characters in the movie, and I was going through this stuff, I would not want to be Eric. This poor guy went through fucking hell. The entire once shit started going down, he was just going through it.
I mean, they all are. Honestly, he was
Natalie
doing pretty
was the
okay.
worst. I'm talking about enduring pain and enduring everything.
I don't know. I mean, there were people who went through worse. I mean, there were people who got their freaking arms chopped off. So I would say that Eric did. He did okay.
He got shot 40 times with a nail gun.
Yeah, but so did the brother. So did
The bro-
David.
He got shot 3 times in the knee. They couldn't
Okay, I
fuck
guess
him
he
up. He
got
was the
off the
pretty
best.
person in the movie.
Ugh, he was not though.
He was, yeah, no.
Anyhow, and there's several times in this freaking movie where people are getting like stabbed or getting objects in their body where they just remove it, and I'm like, you can't just do that. Sometimes it is holding in all the blood in your body. You can't just remove these things unless you're prepared to bandage it properly. Like,
So after Olivia attacks Eric, he ends up killing her because that was the only way to stop it. He had a
he freaking smashes her head in with
the back of the toilet, I think.
yeah. No, I think it was the sink, right?
Something like
Didn't
that.
it break?
Something like
Yeah.
that. So they were in the. I don't know why they left the house to go to the shed to patch him up, but that's what they did. And so they're trying to patch him up, and David sends his girlfriend back into the house to go get something to help, like peroxide, alcohol, something to bandage Eric up. And while she's in there, Mia has the basement. Remember, she's in the basement, all possessed, and she has the basement door cracked, and she's talking crap to Natalie.
Yeah.
And so Natalie ignores her. It goes, as she's about to leave, the demon tries to trick her as she coerces her into the basement.
Yeah. She's
And
all like,
help,
Natalie, I'm scared, or
Why,
some dumb
why'd
shit.
you put me down here? Why am I down here? So she goes down there and ends up getting attacked, but she grabs like a box cutter and then tries to like swipe at Mia.
Oh, God.
And then Mia, somehow the box cutter and Mia's
She
tongue,
holds it up to her. Yeah. Natalie, like, holds it at her,
And-
like, bitch, I'm going to cut you.
and then Mia just licks it and cuts her tongue straight down the middle.
Oh, God. Like, freaking fork
And then
tongue
proceeds
action.
to try to French kiss Natalie.
Yeah, my note about that scene is I said, I guess that scene with Natalie in the basement is hot if you like demonic lesbian stuff.
Okay.
So yeah, she gets like French kissed by Mia, and then Natalie ends up, she escapes, right? She like runs up the stairs.
David was there. David got her out of there.
Yeah, helped her get out of there, and then here we go again. Bodily fluids. You know, she
Because
gets
she bit her,
freaking
got bit.
infected her, and you know, no time at all. She's where does she go? She goes like in the kitchen or something
in the
like
kitchen.
that, and she's like cleaning herself up. Oh yeah, because she bites her on the hand. That's
Yeah.
right. And she's like washing it off, and
It
like
just keeps getting worse. As
Yeah.
worse she washes it, the worse it gets.
And so she's like, oh shit. And then she decides, I'm going to have to chop off my freaking arm to stop this from happening. So she gets one of those like meat carver things, like electric ones that you plug into the wall,
And
you
just
know?
saws all.
And just
just
starts going at it. And I'm like,
This is disgusting.
I mean, horrible. But also, like, realistically, she would have gone into shock before she could, you know, finish
yeah,
the
she would've
job. Like,
passed out.
there's no way that she could have. I mean, with the resistance of the bone and everything, there's just no way. Here goes my analytical brain, you know, watching horror movies and stuff. I'm like, actually. So the story is progressing and stuff, and I just feel like at a certain point I'm like thinking to myself, I don't even remember where we're at story wise, like what the plot of this is. It's just like a bunch of gory, you know, like obviously like scenes that are meant to get you like
Ew.
yeah, you know, freaking out and stuff. Not really, like I said, plot based or anything.
So, after she cuts her arm off, they patch her up a little bit, and then Eric and David go in the living room, and we're trying to figure out how to like stop everything. and they try to burn the book, and the book just won't burn. It doesn't catch fire. And then while they're doing that, Natalie comes in with the nail gun. Now, mind you, like I brought up earlier, I wanted a touch point on the nail gun because she gets possessed too, obviously. That's why she cut her arm off. But she comes in with a nail gun and just starts firing away at Eric, and it hits him in the wrist, hand, like everything. And there's no air hose hooked up to this fucking. So she's firing away where there's no air hose. She's like, so you're telling me this demon was like, all right, I gotta fucking crank this fucking 100-year-old air hose because it was left at the cabin. No, it's just there's just no way.
It's gotta have that.
Okay moment.
Well, what's the word? It's gotta have that like portability. Like she has to be able to get around with it.
Yeah, without tripping.
Yeah, if it was like hooked up to something, it wouldn't work out for the scene and stuff. But so she's just like attacking.
And after they get the nail gun away from her, she picks up like a crowbar or something.
She just starts like beating the shit out of them.
Yeah, and she goes to hit Eric, and he puts his hand up, and she hits his hand, and you just see it split down the middle. It was fucking gruesome.
God.
And then David grabs the double barrel shotgun and fucking blows her other hand off. And like after he did that, like the demon released her, and like the last moments of her life, she just like kind of like woke up to like a hand gone, arm gone. And just collapsed to death. Yeah.
And so then it's just the brother and this Eric dude.
And Mia in the basement.
And at this point, you're going to have to remind me how the hell Eric died, because I didn't even note it, because apparently I didn't care enough.
Okay. So him after Natalie, they were still trying to figure out what was going on. So, he thought Eric died right after Natalie attacked him. He thought he lost so much blood and stuff. Thought it was done. So David went in the basement to try to either kill Natalie. Well, he went into the garage and was doing something with a car battery. He made this like contraption. And then he went in the basement and tried to get Natalie and kill her or whatnot, because the only way to stop this was to either burn her, kill her, or bury her alive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right. That was in the book.
Yeah, so he goes down there and he tries to stop the demon and Mia eventually starts to get the upper hand. Like the demon starts to beat his ass, and the basement was flooded a little bit in the back room, and so she's starting to drown him, but then Eric comes down with the crowbar that just smashed his hand open and knocks Mia out. So then he falls into the water and dies. That was like his last thing. Like he couldn't hold on anymore, and he dies in the water down in the basement. And then David takes her outside and buries her alive.
Oh, I mean, preceding that though, he dresses her up.
Oh yeah, what was that about? He fucking
picks out this like nice red dress.
Handmaiden tale dressed this woman up and puts a bag
over her head. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, you're about to bury her alive. Like, I don't really think that putting a plastic bag over her head is gonna help things.
So
I guess it's supposed to preserve her face, like, so that she still, like, she doesn't get a dirty face. I don't.
The demon tries to like trick him and play like it's actually Mia, but it really wasn't. So he
just keeps burying her.
So he buries her alive, and then waits a few minutes, and then she dies, and then he brings her out. And
yeah, and I like that. It's just a few minutes, and then he's like, "I'm satisfied. Time to dig her up."
And then the contraption he was building in the garage turns out to be a makeshift defibrillator. And with giant, like, needles on it. And he just jabs her in the heart, and he has, like, this little switch on a car battery, and he's just, like, zapping her, zapping her, and zapping her, and zapping her.
It is just, like, the weirdest freaking rig
and then
that he has.
And then he assumes it doesn't work, and he starts to go back in the house, and then, like, next thing you know, Mia's standing up and whatnot. And it's okay, everything's fine. She's back. Like,
he's not suspicious at all.
At
He's
all.
just like, oh, thank God my sister's alive.
well, to
And,
be fair,
okay.
there was nothing to be suspicious about. It actually did work.
Yeah, I know,
It did get
but
out of
I
Mia.
would, like, at least, I don't know, like, interrogate her first or something like that to be sure that it was really her.
Oh, I'm sorry, guys. We have major ADHD. They had a dog named Grandpa. Okay.
Oh, yeah, that was in my notes, and I didn't even say it.
They had a dog named Grandpa, and Mia killed Grandpa.
That
but
is
yeah.
essential to
No, it's
the
not.
story.
But so, her and David, go back in the house, and he said, "I gotta get the keys." They put their shoes on. She's out on the porch, and as he's getting the keys, he stops and sees like a family picture of everybody and grabs it. And as he's grabbing it, David is now possessed. Not David. Eric is now possessed and kills David. Or, no, he attacks David, but David already like went to burn down the house and he couldn't do it earlier. He didn't have like the balls. But now that Mia was like alive and out of the house, he burned down the house with him and Eric in it.
He feels satisfied with it.
Yeah.
But then apparently, so let's see, that was how many people? That was Natalie, Olivia.
5. Two couples and a third party, third wheel. So
Yeah, before when the movie started.
yeah.
Yeah, so the prophecy or whatever in this book says that if 5 people are claimed by this like demon spirit or whatever, then I don't know, the she-bitch, the hell bitch will rise from the earth, or I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know how it works.
The skies will open up and rain red.
Rain blood. Yeah,
Rain
okay.
blood.
And so, yeah, the house is burning, and Mia's like, what the fuck's going on? And then all of a sudden, that it starts raining first, right? It starts raining blood, and then as this is happening, as these 50,000 gallons of blood are raining from the sky, this freaking chick starts climbing up out of the earth, and then there's this duel between Mia and this crazy.
Yeah, Mia gets a hold of a chainsaw and chops her like Achilles feet off, tendon feet areas.
Achilles feet.
Shut up, Brad Pitt.
I didn't know it was his whole foot. I thought it was just the tendon.
So she cut off her feet and then like went and rolled out from under the car. But this demon chick just like pushed the entire car, like flipped it over, and it landed on Mia's hand.
Ugh.
So and Mia was like, "Fuck this! I'm not dealing with this," and just yanks her arm off of her hand.
Yeah, she just like, and it's slow too. She's
Yeah,
like
you hear
slowly
it, you
pulling
see
it out,
Oh,
and like
it was
all the
bad.
muscle and skin's
It's
being
raining
ripped off her.
blood. She's in this handmaiden tale dress that her brother fucking dressed her in, which if I was the writers, I would have had her dressed in white so the raining blood effect would be more impactful.
Right?
But you
hey,
know,
there you go.
people don't think right.
Good note for the writers.
And so go ahead.
And so she decides, fuck this, I'm done. And she, rips her arm out from under the Jeep, and then she gets the chainsaw, and she ends up, the hell bitch is like crawling at her, and Mia freaking cuts her down the middle, like right in the center of her dome,
first she jams
down
her little
body.
Nub. Mia jams her nub into the handle of the freaking chainsaw so she could balance it. And then she cuts her into
straight down the middle. Disgusting.
Also, when she was originally in the shed getting the chainsaw and starting it, I noticed another construction thing. There's no fucking blade on the chainsaw. She's cranking this thing, and it's just there was no chain. There's a blade, but there's no chain, and I'm just like, what the
yeah, there were so many like inconsistencies in the story like that, like just things where you're like, they didn't even try to hide that, or that wasn't even in the background. It was just like,
you couldn't have like a professional like stunt double, because in that scene the Mia was out of focus, but the chainsaw was in focus in that little scene. And like you could have just had a real chainsaw being started by somebody that knew how to start a chainsaw, and then switch to the fakeness later.
Yeah. And yeah, that's it. I mean, she cuts her in half, and then it's like, okay, things are over.
All done.
The rain stops, and she's like, all right, I did what I came to do. I'm done with drawing.
Oh my god.
Time to go home.
First thing I'm doing is getting high. Are you kidding me?
After that event,
Yeah,
you would want to
dude.
be that way for the rest of your life, so you could forget what the fuck happened. And that's the movie. That is Evil Dead.
I feel like that's the only excuse that you could be like, yeah, no, I'm not getting clean.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's the only one people would
would
be
hear
like,
it and understand.
yeah, like. But
So
yeah, that's it.
time for our rating. I give this movie. I'm probably gonna steal it from you.
Like you did last week with Big.
All right, I'll let you go first.
No, you go first. Cause I'm not ready.
Oh, you're not ready? Okay.
I'm at like when you go out to eat and like I'll go last because I'm not ready. When you order your food. Yeah.
Well, I am ready. As I was doing my notes, I was like, I know what I'm gonna say.
All right.
I give this movie 4 grandpas out of 10.
I was just thinking grandpas too. I was like, she's not gonna pick grandpas.
Yeah.
She's not gonna. Nah.
That was the best part of the movie. Grandpa, the dog.
I'm gonna give it 6 out of 10 dead cats.
6, really?
Yeah.
That's
I
about.
enjoyed it.
I looked at it, and that's about what the ratings average out to. I think on IMDb it was like 6.5 out of 10. I was surprised, honestly, though. Oh my God! I can't believe it. I didn't even say what the Rotten Tomatoes.
At this podcast, we do the worst, the best, and our favorite.
Shut the fuck up. Okay, we got ahead of ourselves. Yeah, so 63% by critics and 64% by audience.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean it averages about 6 or 60%.
Okay.
So yeah, you hit. You're just average. You just.
This is why I can't wait for us to get cameras, so you guys could just like see some of the things she says, see what she says, hear what she says.
You're
and
like,
see
dude,
her
when
face.
he says, "You see that?" When he
You see
points
that-
to his
it
ear.
Points to his ear. Yeah.
Yeah, and see me just like gleefully laughing at my own jokes because I know that you're not going to. All right, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to Good Movie Hunting. And thank you again, Deborah, for the suggestion.
I was about to say, there you go, Deborah. We did it for you.
We did it. Maybe we will cover your other suggestion as well.
Oh, Sequoia's never seen Jeepers Creepers.
I was going to keep it a secret, but I realized at the beginning I mentioned what the other one was. Yeah, she also recommended Jeepers Creepers. So since, Halloween starts in September, that gives us, we should have plenty of time to.
No, it fucking does it. Football starts in September.
For someone who loves Halloween so much, I'm surprised that you're fighting me on this.
October 1st is when you can.
Disgusting. No.
Oh my God. Who are we? Where do we find us?
All right. So yes, thank you, Deborah, for that suggestion. I'm glad we were able to fulfill that wish for you. I'm going to give our socials now. We have a Facebook page at Good Movie Hunting or at GMH Podcast, Twitter at GMH Pod, Instagram at GMH Podcast. Our email is goodmoviehuntingpod@gmail.com, and our YouTube is Good Movie Hunting Podcast. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in, and we will talk at you next week. Goodbye.
Maybe.
Oh. Hopefully.
Maybe we will.
Hopefully, if you're good.
If I'm good, I'm about to say it depends on your mood.
If the audience is good.
Oh, if they're not our children.
They're my children.
Okay, goodbye.
Pictures up, class, please.
Parker? What's on your mind?
I've thought about this all night. Whether what I'm about to do is the right thing or not.
Let me go in and talk to him alone, Dr. Mallory.
I did so only because he was working along lines contrary to the good of mankind.
Well, Rangers, looks as though Agents Mackenzie and Hopkins are going to have to get to that hacienda and get there mighty fast.
Crush all opposition. made me the most powerful man in the world.